everybody, Ever Talk TV. This is Ageless Ambitions. I'm Christy Buss, my co-host, always the talkative Max. Today, I have such a great guest. I'm so excited for you to meet him. I think you already know him. He was on The Four on Fox's network. It was a great show, the first season with Meghan Trainor, P. Diddy, and I'm so happy to have you here, Ash Minor.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy
Are you
to be
excited
here.
to
I'm
be here?
super excited to be here.
Woo!
Yeah.
Okay.
You and Max is kicking it on the couch.
I know, he's kicking.
Yeah, he's kicking.
So this is like a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
I know you're literally not from America. You're from Australia,
Yes,
right?
yes.
In Brisbane?
Brisbane, yeah. Brisbane,
And
East
that's a
Coast.
little bit south of Sydney?
North.
Or is it?
North
It's
of
north.
Sydney. Yeah, so
About an
Queensland.
hour.
So about an hour flight north of Sydney.
Hour
Yeah.
flight. Okay,
Yeah.
you're from there.
Yes.
And, you know, I was talking a little bit about who you are and what you've done. And so I'm
Yeah.
excited for you to tell your story.
Absolutely.
So basically, you're from Australia. You
Uh-huh.
grew up there.
Yeah.
And what kind of family life did you have? Was it easy? Was it fun? Did you have a little adversities in your growing up?
Yeah, so I was actually born in the UK.
Okay.
And we moved to Australia. My family moved to Australia when I was 13. So I spent my very developmental years in Australia on the East Coast in Brisbane. It was cool, you know what I mean?
So you were born in the UK?
I'm born in the UK actually originally. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So how did you guys get to Australia?
Just, work opportunity, I think, led my family over there.
Because they play instruments.
Yeah,
and
my
they're
whole
musical.
family's in music and whatnot. So we ended up going over there in the early ages of my teens. And it was cool, Australia's an amazing country. I love it there. It's beautiful. The beaches is great. The people are great. Not a great deal of opportunity for music, so.
But you learned to play all your instruments in Australia.
Yeah. So when we moved
What do you play? Tell me.
I play guitar, I
You're
sing.
mastering guitar.
Oh, I try my best. I don't know
Okay,
if
I think that you're really good at guitar. But what other instruments do you play?
I play the bass. I dabble on piano. I produce. So as many things as I can really. But I started picking up the guitar when I went to Australia because, being somewhat of an outcast, moving there from a different country, I had so much time on my hands. I come home from school, school wasn't easy. When you move from a different country.
You weren't comfortable.
Well,
so
I was also an ethnic minority as well. You know what I mean? So being in a town and being somewhere where there isn't a great deal of ethnic diversity also had its struggles, So I used to go home, I used to just pick up the guitar. My dad had a guitar, so I used to grab a little bandana, a little blindfold, and I used to tie it around my eyes, and I just used to sit there and I just used to play
You didn't
scales
know,
up
you
and down.
taught yourself?
I taught myself how to play everything, yeah.
Wow.
That's what happens when you have a lot of time on your hands. So
Well, adversities lead to so many great things.
Absolutely.
And so you learned to play the guitar and play instruments, but it was around your, going on 16, 17 that you found out your voice.
Yeah. So what
Right?
happened was I was playing guitar for my sister. So my sister was always the singer in the family.
How many sisters do you have?
I've got an older sister and two younger brothers.
Oh, so one older sister and two
Yeah,
younger brothers,
yeah.
and you're kind of
I'm in the middle, yeah.
Okay.
I'm the black sheep of the family.
No, you're not.
Yeah, in a good way. I'm proud of it. Damn.
Okay.
So I used to play guitar for her, and when she finished school and graduated, she moved back to the UK. So I had all these songs I'd written, all this music I'd written for someone else to sing, and no one to sing them.
Right.
So I was like, damn, this is going to be a waste of music. I really enjoyed the idea of being on stage. We were playing gigs together.
So
and
you
doing
did
everything.
like to perform?
Yeah, I love to perform.
Okay.
But my dream was just to play guitar for people. It was never to really step out and be the front man of a band or whatever. So she left, and of course, I think when you embark on your journey as a vocalist, it's a very confronting thing. It's like you're wearing your heart on your sleeve.
Sing?
No, I didn't.
You never sang when you were
I used to do
playing
the thing when no one was home. I would try and sing.
Right.
But as soon as I'd hear the car pulling the drive, I'd be like, oh damn it!
You were that afraid to
Yeah,
try your
it took me a
voice?
while. I think when you sing, especially, I consider myself a soul artist, right? I sing soul music, and I think in
Soul, you're like R&B.
R&B soul, yeah. I think in every note that a soul artist sings, you almost get almost an interpretation of their soul, their spirit. That's what's called soul music. So it was like I was in my most fragile, naked form when I was singing. And it was all this emotion was translating, and to me that was very almost difficult to reveal to people. You know?
Right. But through your voice, is that how you did it?
Yeah. So over time I built up my confidence, and I just started getting in the studio, started working on stuff like that. I met my now best friend, who we just met in the city somewhere. It turned out we lived 5-10 minutes from each other from my hometown.
What does he do? Like
He's
work in the
an
studio?
artist. He's
Oh,
an artist too. Yeah, and now he's a professional fighter now. That's how he makes his money. But he, yeah, I know, two completely
okay.
contrasted
It's
things,
okay.
right? Yeah,
I
serenade
love
them
it.
and then punch someone in the face afterwards. It's great. He was a producer. And he kind of like took me in and was like, yo, let's just work on some stuff. So we would be in his garage just making beats and making music. And before you know it, I started cutting records and starting to get a bit of traction in my hometown. And then I was just like, yo, like I want to do this for the rest of my life. Like I don't want to have to do anything else. So.
Right. So you were playing around different countries at that point?
Yeah, well, how it happened is just me starting to get little gigs in like restaurants and pubs and all this kind of stuff.
Starts.
It's always how it starts.
starts.
And I loved it, but as my skill set started to progress, and I'd be there on a Tuesday, Wednesday night playing music for people and like really enjoying what I was doing, and then people were just like talking and drinking and just not paying attention. I was like, damn, like I want more than just playing. I mean, the money was great, and off that I ended up getting international contracts, and I ended up getting opportunities overseas to perform also.
Like, were you in Amsterdam?
I was in Dubai.
Dubai?
I did like cruise ships around the Pacific, all that kind of stuff. And it was cool, but it was the same situation. It was like singing other people's records.
You're making your way up though.
Yeah, but it was, singing other people's songs and not really feeling fulfilled in that.
So you got to the States somehow.
Yeah.
What made you, so what promoted you to come and get to the States so that you can see what your dream will be here?
Well, I went to Dubai and I made like a substantial amount of money over there playing in resorts.
They have the most beautiful resorts there.
Yeah,
And they have
I was living like a king. I was living like a king. I had a little beachfront apartment.
I know
it
where
was
you're
amazing.
At.
I was on the Palm. It was
beautiful.
amazing.
So that didn't still like make you happy. Like having all that still didn't make you happy.
Well, yeah, there was a potential 2-year contract for me there, and I left after 6 months because I'm like, damn, like I've got what I need from this situation. It was cool, but like I said, I think
they do make a lot of money there.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't fill the heart, you know?
Well, that's it. I mean, for me, I want to be able to sing my own records. I don't want to have to. I mean, I got love for every artist out there, and that's how everyone starts singing. But I wanted to sing my own songs, so I made enough money to be able to invest it all into getting my visa situation because it's not cheap to move from overseas.
No,
like,
and it's not
expensive.
easy to get a visa, especially these days, right?
Yeah, exactly. And at the time, I had like a substantial amount of compiled evidence that I was making progression in my career, like
You
these
have to do
international
that.
contracts.
A lot of you have to list all the things that you've done to be able to come over here with a visa.
Yeah, so it was like the time is now. I've got these current contracts. I've got enough money. Like let's just go and see what happens.
So where did you end up in the States?
I ended up in North Hollywood in October 2017. I just found an apartment online.
2017?
Yeah. So I found an apartment. Didn't know anyone. Didn't know anyone in the city. Didn't know my housemates, and I just paid the apartment down 6 months. And I was like, I like people, so I'm gonna try and make this work. I'm just hoping that there's not gonna be anyone I'm sharing a house with who's just gonna be really bad to live with. So, fortunately enough, the guys I was living with were incredible. Came out here.
Blindly did it, just like
just
you
did
did
it.
your blindfold
Yeah.
to play the
Yeah,
guitar.
I've got
Now
a-
you're blindly coming into the States and
Yeah.
saying, "Wow, I'm going to do this." So how did you end up on The Four, which is on Fox Network, right?
Yeah.
It was the first season.
Right? So
right.
the Four came around really quickly because I didn't know anyone here. I was very much forced to head out every single night with my guitar and just try and find places to perform at. And for me as an artist, like coming from the live circuit, I was like, yo, if I'm gonna try and get opportunities, I've got to try and find places to perform live. That's what's gonna make people want to work with me. So I spent the first couple months just going from like bar to club in Hollywood, just playing.
Just kind of starting over from what you were doing way back
Yeah,
then, right? You
and
have to start over.
The first night I went out and played in LA. There was a producer from The Four in the
Are you
crowd.
serious?
The first night, yeah.
The first night. Was it in the Valley?
It was in the Valley at the Zen Lounge before the Zen Lounge closed down.
What's the name of it?
The Zen Lounge?
The Zen Lounge?
Yeah.
Is it closed down now?
I think it's closed down temporarily at the moment. But it
okay,
was
but
like they used to
that's where
have.
you went.
Yeah, they used to have Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights. They used to pop off, and I think it was a Monday night. I was in there.
And there was a producer from that show.
There was one of the producers from the show, from the show. Sorry, and they were like, "Do you want to come on the show?" And initially, I said no.
Why did you say no?
I think it was because I think TV shows have got a stigma attached to them that they can really mess with the artist's independence. So in order for me to go on the show, there had to be a substantial amount of, negotiation in order for me to say I can maintain my artistic
So
integrity.
you stood out your ground in terms of that,
Absolutely.
right?
I mean, because I worked so hard and hard. I like to think harder than most just to be at ground level where everyone else was out here. I was like, I can't jeopardize it by being locked in a contract. I can't jeopardize it by being in a situation where I can't portray my artistry the way I want to portray
Not
it.
a lot of people would do that. They
Well, I
would
mean-
sell themselves just to be able to be on a show.
Yeah,
You know
but I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
to me, the success and the fame, so to speak, was always a byproduct of excellence, So for me, it was like, I know I'm good at what I do. Well, that was kind of like my mindset then. I was like, I know what I can bring to the table here. And I know the energy and charisma that I can bring to this show. And I had faith in myself that I worked so hard on my artistry that I can bring unique quality to their platform. So I said to them, like,
So who are the judges? Okay, I know.
it was
you said
it was P. Diddy,
Yeah.
DJ Khaled, Megan Trainor, and Charlie Walk.
Wow, those are really high-end people.
Yeah, of
right?
course. At the time, I didn't know who was going to be on the panel. This was very much in the birth stages of
Gotcha.
production.
'Cause it was
so,
first year.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
So that was in October, and then production didn't start till December. So things was the show was very much still getting pieced together. So we was as much in the dark as even a lot of
If
the
you guys
producers
go
were.
on YouTube and see him on his first season of The Four, you're going to just truly be amazed. I mean, you have a voice
Thank you.
that God gave you, I
Oh, thank
swear,
you, thank
because
you.
I toured with Leanne Rhymes and she has a voice from God too. And it's very rare that it's just so natural.
Thank
and
you.
the R&B in your voice and the soul that you bring out is just truly incredible. So you guys have to watch that. But in the meantime,
Thank you so
get
much.
on that show.
Yeah.
And did you stay on the show? I heard that the audience asked you back.
Yeah, yeah.
How did that work? How did that work?
So there was only 6 weeks of the show. The second week I got voted off.
From the panel.
From the audience.
Oh, from the audience.
But the audience was a very
small group,
incubated group.
Right.
So when that went to air, there was a lot of controversy as to who should have won the thing, and I think it happened. I mean, big love to my friend Candace, who was the one who knocked me off. I think she's so incredible.
Wow.
If there was one person I would have liked to have lost, Candace Boyd.
Candace Boyd.
Yeah, if there was one person that I would have totally been cool with voting me off, it was her. Because I think she's a beast. I think she's amazing. So I didn't really care. To be honest, I was like, cool, like time to go home. I did what I did. I made my impact.
Right.
I sang my song. For me, winning the show was never a thing. It was like, let me just go on this show. Let me throw it down. Let me show what I do.
Right.
And I knew that was going to be enough for me to get all I needed from it. And then, a few weeks later, they called me back and they were like, do you want to come back on? Like, there's obviously been a thing on Twitter where people have been trying to get you to come back.
So social media wanted you to come back.
Social media wanted me to come back. So that led to me coming back on the show for another battle. Yeah.
Another battle.
Uh-huh.
So, okay, so from there,
Mm-hmm.
you got on the show, you got back on the show, and now I think you're producing an album and a
Yeah.
single. So tell me about that. How's
Yeah,
that?
so coming off the show, there was a lot of pressure for me to release music straight away. But, I think even when you get a decent amount of social traction after a show, it's a drop in the ocean really compared to the amount of buzz and hype that an artist can really generate through their own music. So there was a lot of pressure, people being like, yo, you should be releasing your records now, you should be doing this, like it's a hot time to record. But the people I was working with, the team, the producers, the fit wasn't right. It was like me trying to put like a square peg in a circle hole. So I was making good records, but I wasn't making music that I felt was a proper representation of who I am. So I had to take a step back. I was like, I need to
Revamp.
restructure my business.
Yes.
I need to just refine myself as an artist, because that was one thing I was worried about going on TV for. It was like I moved out here to LA to sculpt who I wanted to be.
You are just, you're like tunnel vision. Like
Yeah.
you, not very many people are like this. And when you want something and that's the only way you're going to do it, those are the people that really shine through in the end.
Yeah.
So to take the time to then revamp, and now you're doing your album, you have a single coming out. Who's working with you on your album?
So we've got some incredible people. So the people who worked on my single is a producer called ADP, who's a multi-platinum producer in the UK, and a producer called Sac Passe, who's another multi-award-winning producer who I actually wrote the record with. He did Jay-Z, Kanye, Rihanna, So
Really?
yeah. So
So you're
AD,
working with the high-end people.
yeah, and ADP
right?
himself as well has worked with, I mean, everyone, Dua Lipa, everyone you could think of in the industry. So for me, taking a step back to be able to almost reprove myself and be affiliating with this circle of people,
Yes.
understand it, to me makes it all worthwhile.
Yes.
Because I feel like the proof's in the pudding. Like if you make good music, people gonna listen. And I feel now so comfortable that I can solely create art, and I know the producers can produce the record, and the management and the business people are gonna do their end, and we can all, it's like
Team.
it's like a part of a car.
Team.
Everyone can do their bit, and the thing's gonna run smoothly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's gonna run smoothly. Whereas before, I felt like because
Discombobulated
I didn't have
by
all those
all.
components, so I was working overtime, and it's only a matter of time until you burn yourself out.
So
when
you're
do
going to
it.
be performing soon at where are you going to be performing?
The Peppermint Club on the 9th of November.
So can you do me a favor? Can you, before I end my show, can you serenade me just a little
Yeah,
bit?
yeah, I
and
can.
as I want to say, it's Ever Talk TV, Ageless Ambitions. I'm so excited to have you here, and
Thank you.
I can't wait to hear you sing for me, and I can't wait for the audience to hear you.
Yeah. So you want me to sing a little bit from the
Oh, here,
show?
I got this for you.
One I prepared earlier. There you go. You want to sing with me?
Sing, Max. Sing, Maxie.
Okay, he ain't really feeling it today. That's fine.
And you are just incredibly gorgeous.
Thank you.
I love all your tattoos.
Oh, thank you.
So just you're looking good. You're coming your part. I just love it.
Thank you. We'll go get some tattoos sometime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, why not? Okay. So this is a little bit of something I sang when I was on the floor. I think that's probably something relative.
I think that would be awesome.
Okay. Baby, these lips can't wait to taste your skin, baby. And baby, these eyes can't wait to see your grin. So yeah, baby, so just let my love adorn you. So yeah, baby, so you got to know, so know that I adore you.
Ever Talk TV, guys. Ageless Ambitions. Thanks, babe.
Thank you for having me.